Hello and welcome back to Emperor's Path. My name is SBJ and welcome to this February-March layout update. So basically I took a month off. I just decided that there was a lot goes on in February for my life, both with my daughter, my wife's birthdays, all these various things. So we plan to do a lot, as well as half term being in there. So I decided to take a month off and not necessarily record any videos. So yeah, like that. That's why there's not been any videos for a month. However, I feel it's about time that you got some sort of layout update out of it. There's been a few bits going on the layout over the last two months. Mainly, I've been building a bridge section in the western corner, so in between the canal and the station. Clearly, I'm out of shape at doing this. The biggest thing that's been going on is actually I've been so busy with commission work, which is a fantastic thing. That's going to be the main bulk of this video. I'm going to be showing you some of the models I've been working on, along with waiting for parts to turn up from various vendors. It's been a little bit of a pig. However, it's nice to be doing something that I love. With that, it has meant that behind me on the layout has basically been a storage area, because we've been doing, I think, somewhere in the region of about 20 different coaches, in essence, in terms of various different multiple units, which is fun. I love it. I've got 3 South West Trains liveries on the go. I've got some Network Southeast. In fact, Network Southeast and South West Trains is mainly what I'm doing, with the rare sort of variation in between. I've also used this time in between to try and have a clear out of the loft, which hasn't necessarily worked. I've managed to clear out a lot of stuff, but I've also sort of unearthed things and I've gone, oh, I forgot about that, and I'm sort of now trying to deal with that. So I've got some coaching stock and bits that I'm shifting on because I don't have the space for it, and I'm upgrading bits. I'm also selling lots of Warhammer bits that I've got that just aren't going to get done. I've acquired some new rolling stock locos across the course of the last 2 months through trades and payment methods. That's how people are paying me through certain commissions. So yeah, the biggest thing I've had is that I'm not running as many trains as I would like to, because the commission work has sort of overtaken everything behind me here. So yeah, I'm going to go show you around the layout, show you some of the commissions, and then I'll be back. Okay, so the thing I've been working most on the layout, at least over the last couple of months, has been this bridge section here. I've basically put in supports to get this all put in. Now this has moved. So let's put that back. That basically sits there like that. The main thing I've got is I've got this sort of section over here where I've got the brickwork going all the way around to this corner over here, and then I'm going to do the same over here. This is going to be 2 separate bridges that basically you go across one to go across the other kind of thing, and there is going to be a gap in the middle so you'll be able to see the trains, but it helps break up the section a little bit. And there's quite a few situations in Portsmouth where you have one bridge very close to another bridge. It's just how the city is, unfortunately. But that's been the main thing I've been working on. I used this old Hornby Triang bridge kit. I think it's a Dublo or Dublo kit to do this span across there. I'm going to work on this bit in the middle there using some cereal box card, because I feel like that's the best thing to use in terms of thickness and supportability, whilst it also paints really, really well and weathers really well. So that's what's been going on in this corner. It is really nice because it cuts off section from section, so you end up with this beautiful, almost, it's really nice because when the station's done over here, it's going to look great having the trains come through that bridge section there. I just need to get it covered up and sort of worked on, because of the sheer mess that's going on around the loft at the moment. I'm finding it difficult to stick to one particular project for any length of time because everything's a mess. I should probably tidy it up. Down on the canal sidings down here, nothing really super new other than the fact that I've added in some bushes and shrubs. Now these are a hops kit by Noch. And basically I've just bent them into place to make them look more like bramble bushes, using various grass patches and stuff like that and turf. I've just put that all along here, and it's yeah, it looks nice. I'm going to airbrush it so it's not so green, but it definitely adds a little bit to this particular area. So, having done this canal section and the bridge section, let's have a look at the station area. Now, the station area hasn't really had anything done to it. However, you're going to notice that there's a lot of new stuff sitting in the station, and it's not necessarily new. It is just stuff that I have acquired over the last couple of months in terms of trading for work, or even trading away other pieces of kit to get them. So have a look at the back. This is a rake of Intercity Hornby coaches. I've always wanted these, but they always go for a ridiculous price on eBay. The option to pick some up were available, and I've managed to cash in some bits to trade for it, which was extremely handy. I do need to try and find a fifth coach now. At the moment, it's got one TSO, two firsts, and two brakes. Now, I'm intrigued as to people think you cannot get hold of a TSO at the moment. That seems to be the one thing that you can't get, but you can get first open and you can get the brakes. So I'm intrigued as to whether people think it's acceptable to have two brakes on a 5-class rake. To me, it seems silly because it's such a small rake, but let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Second, I did a fantastic little deal with my friend Chris, who is 00 Gauge Modeler on Instagram. I'll put a link to his account in the description below. I traded a loco for his Class 33 in BR Green. If I'm really honest, I do love it, but it's going to be repainted into BR Blue because that's what I've wanted in a Class 33 for quite some time. It's a really lovely loco, and it's going to be pulling this next new addition, which is all of these Sea Lion ballast hoppers. I'm going to weather these up. There's a lot of weathering that I need to do with my rolling stock and locos at the moment. With lots of stuff going out and new stuff coming in, it has meant that all the stuff that I'd weathered has basically been replaced by stuff that is not weathered. So I need to deal with that and attack that somewhere down the line. The 411, that's old. That's just sitting in there simply because I think it looks nice sitting on the platform. It also helps me work out the length of trains for the fiddle yard. So, for example, I know that my smallest siding is the equivalent of 4 coaches and 1 loco. And I know that my biggest sidings are 5 coaches and a loco. So it does help with these 2-car units here. I can sort of add those in to try and work out how long a train can be. So, for example, I was trying to work out what kind of siding space I needed for the ballast train to go in, and it turns out I can take the brake van off the end and squeeze it onto one of the smaller sidings, or I can leave the guards van on the end and put it in one of the longer sidings. So there are options there. Other new additions, I'm if you've seen my diesel video of locos that I want, or locos and electrics that I want, you'll notice that bar 1, I think it's completed now. You can see here that I've got a Class 73 in South West Trains livery. It wasn't necessarily the livery that I wanted, but it, once again, somebody offered it to me, and it was broken when they sent it. So I've worked out a way of getting it so that it now works and it's absolutely fine. I've glued some parts back on, and I've managed to sort of, not bodge job, but I've managed to fix the parts that were broken on it. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I don't know what to run it round with, so if you have any ideas of what you think this South West Trains liveried 73 could pull, let me know. I have also got two EPBs, one in Network Southeast and one in Network Southeast, but BR Blue and Grey, so it's got the revised branding on it. Lovely units. I need to try and sit them down and get them going at the exact same speed, because I want to run them as a 4-car unit just so it's easier to run around the layout. So I need to work out how to consist or speed match so that I can have the 2 of them running at the same time. The other option is disabling the motor on one of the units and just have the other unit pulling it. There are options. There's options that I can work on. So yeah, that's pretty much where the new additions to the layout are. There's some coaching stock and stuff that I've picked up at shows as well, but nothing necessarily too over the top. But yeah, I'm really happy with this. It's just a case of I just need to actually sit down, clear the layout, and have some trains running around again. At the moment, I'm thinking with the Intercity rake, I'm going to put my Class 50 Arc Royal on there. I think that would look quite nice. But there's also the opportunity of putting my Intercity Class 47 on there as well, and I think that would look good as well. I have also managed to pick up the bits that I need to continue working on the third rail across the layout. That is just a simple case of when I get the chance or when it's clear to sit down and move my way around. Now, one thing you're going to notice on this corner of the layout is this is where I've put my workstation at the moment. It's a lot easier for me to cut on this corner. I put my cutting mat on there and sort of cut bits up on here. As you can see at the moment, it's got some Warhammer bits which I'm looking to shift on to clear some space. So if you're interested in any 40k orcs, let me know. There's some bits for sale. I'm keeping some of the orc bits because I really want to paint them. I've got the commando set and a couple of war bosses and bits and bobs that I just want to paint for fun. But these are sort of surplus. I'm never going to get round to doing these. So if you're interested, let me know. And then just more bits over here. So I'm using like the bridges and the raised sections just as storage spaces at the moment. Also, there's a Chaos Defiler up there if anybody wants it. Just send me a message. Also, I'm trying to think, but I basically did some plaster bandage on this section. I think I covered that in the last update, if I'm really honest. I have also been working on getting myself set up for live streaming so that I can do some stream nights, just have like running sessions and things like that so that we can have a chat. With that in mind, I've got a couple of webcams that have been hooked up around the layout. I need to sit down and do some test sessions to see if it all works just as I want it to. But yeah, so that's pretty much where the layout is at the moment. There's nothing too big, but there's been a few changes that have happened across the course of the last 2 months. So let's go and have a look at the commission stuff so you guys can see what has been keeping me busy. So these are the bits that I've been mostly working on over the last couple of months. They've taken a lot of my time. However, I am so happy with how they're turning out. There was a mess up with some transfers on my part, so I'm waiting for new ones to turn up so I can crack on with that. So this unit here is mine. This is my own Class 411, which is going into Southwest Trains livery. This set here and this set here are for Greg from Gordon's Lane or Ebsworth Street. Then I've got this for Martin from Groveland Station, Groveland Patch. I'm really sorry, Martin, I always forget it. But I'll put a link in the description below for Martin's stuff there. And then a couple of bits for Stu. There is another 411 unit which is currently undergoing some other bits that I need to sort out. A very weird kit built one, but the idea is great, just painting it's not exactly fun. So yeah, so this is all at the stage where it's transfers now. Once the transfers are put on, I can give them a satin varnish and start weathering, and then they will be good to go off to their new homes. I'm so excited to get this project finished because this is a lot of stuff. I've got other bits to do, but this is the biggest section that I've got at the moment that needs finishing. So yeah, I'm so happy with how these have come out. I think this is going to be something that I'm going to say this, masking them has not been fun. If I had to pick between doing the livery of the Southwest Trains or the Network Southeast, I'd pick Network Southeast. The masking for it is so much easier than the Southwest Trains. But yeah, no, they look great, and I can't wait to see them run around on my layout and on Greg's layout and on Martin's layout as well. So yeah, so that's all of the bits that I've been up to. Let's go back to the desk. Okay, so there we are. That is a little update. A little update is a big update on what I've been up to over the last couple of months. Being up here in the loft has been fantastic in terms of productivity in both ways. I'm out of the way from downstairs, so I'm getting a lot more actual work done, but I'm also going out and about a lot more. Everywhere seems to have sort of relaxed a little bit more on the COVID guidelines, so me going out and doing my day job is a lot easier. Also, I'm up here. I can see what needs doing. It's nagging at me whilst I'm here, so it is very handy that when I finish work, rather than sort of going downstairs and chilling for a little bit, I can actually get an hour or two's worth of work done before the girls come home, and then spend some time with my family, and then likewise I can come back up here if I need to. Being up in the loft has been a lot better than the last time I was up here. There's a lot better lighting. This setup in front of me is a lot nicer. I basically used an old racking system to create a desk, and it's worked very well. Setting up monitors and things like that is something that I've now managed to get where I need to. The only thing I've really struggled with is keeping this place tidy, as you can see behind me, and as you will have seen in the video. Now, bear in mind that I've not shown you a particular section of the loft simply because it's so messy, so all around me down here is a mess. There's no nice way of saying it. I have tidied up some of the racks that I have around the office. I've now tidied it. I've got organisers, as you've seen. And I bought those from IKEA, and they're fantastic because they're perfect for 4-car units. You can fit 6 in there, but because I'm working, what I've done to save space on the top there, I've put some together that wouldn't usually be together. But it's fantastic because I can keep them in boxes so I know whose is who and what's going on. Because whilst I may be working on one set of commissions, there's other stuff going on in the background that gets looked at. So there's another couple of boxes underneath there where there's nothing necessarily to show you at this moment, but I've got shelves with all of everybody's boxes on so that I know where it all is. So when I'm finished, I can put it all in the boxes that they need to, and they can be sent off. I've tidied up my own boxes and things like that, and I'm trying to work out a storage system for all of my bits and bobs. If anybody knows where you can get some good high density foam to create sort of like a shelf where you can put your coaches in, likewise work really well with your really useful boxes, let me know. All the ones I've found have been exceedingly expensive for not a lot of foam, if that makes sense. So yeah, over the next month, I'm hoping that I'll be able to do a little bit more scenic work. I want to continue on the embankment up there on the coming onto the island section, so the right hand side. I want to get that with a little bit of colour. I want that to be a nice place. I want to be able to run trains again. That's my biggest thing. I can get this load of commissions out and it saves a little bit of space. The other commissions I've got after that are a lot smaller, so I can sort of work on those slowly. And I can have trains running around. One thing that I have really enjoyed, and whilst it's not been as often whilst I've been up here in the new office, is being able to work away and just having the occasional loco sort of running around has been fun. Like, clickety-clack has been exceedingly fun. I also have TV up there now, so I can now watch more things in the background whilst also listening to podcasts and stuff like that throughout the day. A couple of things I want to talk about. In October, I'm going to be running a weathering stand at the Fareham Model Show in Fareham at the Leisure Centre. That is the 7th and 8th of October. If I can, I will put a picture of the poster up somewhere here. If you want to come and say hi, you can. I'm going to be basically weathering across the weekend and trying to show and help people weathering tips on how they can do it themselves, because I am a very big advocate that everyone can weather. It's just a case of how much you want to weather. So if you want to come and say hi, you can. Likewise, if you want to sign up to get onto the commission list, whether it's repaints or weathering, you'll be able to do so there. And to make your life a lot easier, because I'm not a big fan of the postal system at the moment, you can drop off or pick up items from there if we've worked together before as well. If you want to pick up some Emperor's Path merchandise, I do have t-shirts for sale. They'll be in the link in the description below. Likewise, one thing I do want to say, I've mentioned that I'm going to try and start doing some live stream running sessions, but I also live stream running sessions, but what I also want to do is I want to try and do something a little bit different and maybe live stream me playing some of my old... If you know me, you know that I'm a massive fan of Pokemon. It's one of my biggest loves in life. If I'm not doing trains or spending time with the girls, then I am usually playing Pokemon. And I bought a GB operator a year ago, and whilst I've had fun playing it, I thought it would be quite fun because it gives me the ability to live stream me playing some of the more older Pokemon games. So if that's something that you are interested in, let me know in the comments down below. Likewise, if you want me to just keep it trains, also let me know in the comments down below. A massive thank you to those who support me on Ko-fi. I still can't work out which one I want to say, but massive thank you to my Ko-fi supporters. With your help, it does help me basically put some money towards the things that I am doing on this layout, and it is very much appreciated. If you've enjoyed this video, then you can click the like button down below. You can leave a comment with any advice, hints, tips, tricks, or any questions that you have about the things that I do. And likewise, if you aren't already subscribed, but you've got this far in the video, click that little subscribe button because it does help me out massively. You'll be able to watch videos in a second. They're going to come up on your screen. Otherwise, thanks very much for watching. I've been SBJ. Have a nice day. Bye!